most important thing that you can do is tell your personal story. Because what I started to learn was that when I told my personal story of challenges, triumphs, and the changes that I was going through, that when I was doing that, I was not only helping myself, but I was impacting someone else. And that impact really was measurable, because what ended up happening is people would come to me and say, because of you, I'm doing this. And to me, those would be the most positive thing that I could hear at the particular time where I was still in a dark place. Because from that point forward, I would learn that, you know what? My new life is going to look just like this. And from that moment forward, what I would do is I would learn that I wanted to do something for our military. And so I would start 2 charities along with my good friend Major Dan Rooney, the F-16 fighter pilot. We would start the Folds of Honor Foundation to provide the spouses and children of the fallen and wounded educational scholarships. And I said earlier, 10,000 scholarships awarded. We're on pace to raise $75 to $100 million in those 8 short years. And to me, what I learned from that is that I want to impact these military families. And the most important thing that we would gain from that as well would be the fact that, you know what? These families would tell us that they were grateful on behalf of a grateful nation. And those stories would start to resonate in our lives. And so I'm here today to not only share my personal story, but to tell you to share yours. To use that as a way to let people know how important the political process is and how important you are for what you're doing for this nation. You see, you all have a very tough job in this room because you have a lot of people telling you what to do and telling you how to do it. But the thing that's most important is, you know what? You take that advice, you move forward, and you always stick to the values and the principles that make you who you are. To me, those values and those principles are with me every day. They're with me every day because when I look at this prosthetic leg, I know that I sacrificed something for the greatest nation in the world. And that I know that in this room, there are very, very important people that are going to make decisions about who we are and what we're all about. And that in this political climate, the negativity, whether it's right or wrong, is something that I try not to experience much of. What I try to do is look at the positives of everything that we do. And I look at solutions about what we can do collectively to make a difference. And so what I wanted to do as I end, and I'm going to ask you all to basically do a little bit of a Q&A. I want to share something that really that inspires me. And I don't share these very much, but I think that for this group and leadership, it's very important for me to share them. Because all of us live under the principles in this room, I know, of God, country, family. But we also live under some basic tenets. And I'm not sure what your tenets are, but my tenets are as follows. For me, one of the biggest tenets that I use every day is called resiliency. And that means never giving up. Another tenet that I use is integrity. Take the harder right over the easier wrong. Duty. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. Passion. Be passionate about what you do or do what you're passionate about. Every day that we wake up, we should be passionate about something. Whether it's passion about our country or whether it's passion about who we serve, be passionate and always, always be on point. Because you never know when you're going to make a difference in someone's life. Another tenet that I use is impeccability. If it's worth doing right. Teamwork. There is no I in team. It's we. Selfless service. Everyone in this room, I know, gives back. You wouldn't go into this arena unless you felt the passion and the drive and the commitment to give back. Because when you give back, you do make a difference. Planning. You fail to plan or plan to fail. And let me tell you, we've made our mistakes in life, but what we do is we correct them. Loyalty. always up and down and across the organization. When I worked for General Petraeus, one of the things that I saw in him was that he had loyalty. Loyalty to his people, and certainly mission first people always. And to me, those were basic tenets that really, really resonated in my life. And finally, one of the biggest tenets that I use in everything that I do is always set the example. When you set the example and you create the example, people gravitate to that. And setting the example is about making sure that we honor this great nation.